Now viewers, it is in fact an important time as there are many arguments that have been made for or and against the Waqf Amendment Bill and the recommendations that have also been attacked by the opposition. Now speaking of the opposition, let's also have a guest joining us on the broadcast, Waris Pathan, the AIMIM leader. He's joining us live on the broadcast. Appreciate you joining us live on the broadcast, sir. Can you help our viewers understand what is your principal opposition to the Waqf Amendment Bill? When the entire opposition has been putting up a united front to oppose the bill, what is that the AIM actually looks at as a loophole in the bill?
Well, the Waqf Amendment Bill is per se illegal, it's unconstitutional, it's a violation of Article 14, 25, 26 of the Constitution. And when there is already Waqf board into existence, there is a Waqf law into existence, what was the need for Modi government to get so many amendments? And the amendments are such that we know that the intentions of the BJP are totally mala fide, and the intentions are to usurp our Waqf properties by getting such kind of amendments which are per se illegal and bad in law. So all the amendments, we have objection for it. See, when the All India Muslim Personal Law Board has taken out a website and said that those who have an objection can raise the objection, and you won't believe more than 5 to 6 crores of people they raise their objections on this issue. So the Muslims have rejected the bill. So why would you want to get into it? There are several things. See, I will give you one or two examples. If one example is that in the Hindu Endowment Board, you won't allow any Muslims to interfere. In a Gurdwara board, you won't allow any Muslims to interfere. But the Waqf board, the amendment says you will have two non-Muslims in the board. So tomorrow, if something happens, they will say, okay, this property does not belong to the Waqf. It will go into dispute. The dispute will increase. Then there is a law of limitation, which is here, but it is not there. Then there's change of user. You can take away the Waqf property, showing it is disputed property. So there are many things which we all know. In the JPC meeting which was held, our party president was also member to it. He had raised objection. The dissent notes which he has submitted before the JPC, you won't believe several of the paragraphs were removed from it. Why? There were some truncated. Why? Because you don't want to show the reality to the nation. And so we said that we reject the Waqf bill outrightly. And today, being a Friday, last Friday of the month of Ramzan, All India Muslim Personal Board said that we should wear a band to show that we reject the bill. And so even I had worn a band today, and we are showing our objection. An objection is that the Waqf bill is per se illegal, bad in law, and the Modi government must immediately withdraw the bill. That's it, what I want to say.
Mr. Pathan, the big question looms large that if the Waqf Amendment Bill is a reform or is it anti-Muslim, but the fact of the matter is that the centre has categorically stated and claimed that if this bill and more regulations are brought, it will help and protect the Waqf lands and the properties. So, listening to all of that, and of course in the House of the Parliament when the arguments are made in favour of presenting the bill, how would you like to react to these claims which in fact largely the opposition has only been attacking?
They are lying, sir. They are not getting this bill to protect the Waqf land. They are getting this bill to usurp up the Waqf property, to take up our masjids, to usurp up our orphanages, to usurp up our graveyards. Kindly try to understand that. The intentions are totally malevolent, and I show the amendments which go into it. It will take a lot of time. There are 44 amendments, and I said it's totally uncalled. Why? No, if see a Hindu Endowment Board, you don't have any Muslims there. Why you have a non-Muslim in the Muslim Waqf Board? Just recently in Andhra Pradesh, 18 of the non-practicing Hindus were removed from the Tirumala board. And now Chandrababu Naidu and they are supporting their Waqf bill. So I say this bill is brought into intention to take away, usurp the property belonging to the Muslims. And if there is a litigation, suppose if you say that there is a lot of litigation, there is a litigation, there is a Waqf board, there is a Waqf tribunal. And if the Waqf board and Waqf tribunal feel that you are not satisfied with the answer given by them, there are high courts. You can very well go in revision. You can file appeal against the order of the Waqf board. There are things, but why you want to get an amendment to ensure the Waqf property is removed? That's why I say the intentions are malevolent.
All right, Mr. Pathan, as you have categorically stated that there are quite a few litigations which are pending in front of the courts. So how do you suggest the need for that to be done, and how do we get past and reduce these disputes over Waqf properties? And when the fact of the matter remains that a resolution in a coherent manner needs to be attained.
Well, there are disputes everywhere in the country. There are courts to direct it. There are Waqf board is there, Waqf tribunal is there. They can very well take charge of it. And if a person is aggrieved by the order passed by the Waqf board or tribunal, you may very well approach the honorable courts, file review and file revision. But this is not the way of getting a black law, unconstitutional law to intention that okay, Muslims have got 9 lakh plus acres of land. I guarantee you, I challenge there are 4 states which have more land than the work property itself. So these are just false lies and canards which are being spread by the government. That's why I say their intentions are malafide and the intentions are bad use of the property belonging to our Muslims. And I assure you that we will protest in all over the country in a democratic way under the constitution, and we won't allow the government to take away an inch of our work property which belongs to our, which is given with the intention for charity. Let I make this very, very clear before you.
All right, on that note, I think it is important to understand, and the final question that I would like to ask you here is that based on something that the Delhi Hajj Committee Chief Kausar Jahan has said in an exclusive conversation with NewsX, she told us that she supports the bill due to its inclusion of women. So when we are talking about also the opposition largely, there is also that side from the Muslim community, within the Muslim community, which is banking for it, which is also coming together to say that this is the bill which is also talking about our upliftment. This is also talking about our benefit. So what are your thoughts to comment on that?
But she has said there are 2, 3 people in our country who are BJP is people, BJP man, they don't want to hurt their master, they are the master's voice. She herself knows what problems will happen if this work bill is introduced, if the work law is passed. Very well knowingly, if she is making such kind of statement, I am surprised that she is fooling the Muslim community. The Muslim community will never forget her for making such kind of statements.
Well, Mr. Pathan, on that note, it is in fact time to move forward, and thank you very much for joining us live on the broadcast and sharing your time and also your concerns regarding the contentious Waqf bill. Now viewers, it's time to move forward.